25. Can I have a roll call?
Yes. Commissioner Gold?
Here.
Commissioner Lawrence? Commissioner Melendez?
Here.
Commissioner O'Brien Herrera?
Here.
Commissioner Pizzelli?
Here.
Commissioner Tanner?
Here.
And Chairperson Christian Kelly.
Here.
Okay, you have a quorum.
Okay. I ask all the commission, let's salute to the flag. Let's begin. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen. Now we're going to approve order of agenda.
I have a comment, Monsieur. Madam
Yes.
Chair. This agenda is missing the minutes of our last meeting.
That's because the minutes aren't available.
Can we make sure that the minutes go approved in our next meeting?
Well, I've asked the city clerk to assign a secretary to it. When they assign a secretary, we'll get them. But, there is no secretary yet for
Okay,
this.
I'm not trying to argue here. All I'm saying is this particular agenda lacks the minutes of the last meeting of this commission.
You're
It's
correct.
an important meeting because we had elections, the chairperson was elected. So if we can't get it in this one, just make sure that we get the minutes in our next meeting so we can approve them. Because without approving the minutes, nothing becomes official, right?
Right.
Thank you. Oh, by the way, instead of having a secretary, I actually watched our meeting, which unfortunately I couldn't make it because of a previously arranged business travel, on YouTube, and YouTube basically captions it. So it's a relatively simple job to get it transcribed. Just a suggestion.
Well, who's going to do it?
I'm sorry?
I will make sure the city clerk knows that you think it's very important that we have minutes. I will definitely make sure.
Thank you.
Okay. Is there
Yeah, so a motion to approve the order of the agenda?
a motion to approve the order? Is there a motion to approve the order of agenda as is?
I
Somebody-
move.
Okay, Tanner, a second?
I second.
All right. Pitzel? Oh, wait. O'Brien, so sorry, I'm trying to get this right, I apologize. O'Brien. Any opposed?
Well, so then you just ask, you can vote on it now.
So,
Did you ask if there were any in favor?
yeah, if there's any in favor.
Okay.
Yeah.
All those in favor
All
say
those
aye.
in favor
Aye.
say aye.
Aye.
Yeah,
Aye.
sorry. Okay, the motion carries. All right. Now we're going to E, correct? Is that,
Blue folder items?
yeah,
Okay, there are no blue folder items,
okay.
so you can go to the consent calendar.
Was there anything that was supposed to be removed?
Well, that's what happens now, so.
Okay, that's, I'm
So,
curious.
no, that's fine. So the consent calendar is the affidavit of posting, the John Parsons Public Art Fund report, and to receive and file the draft of the conflict of interest. You can either entertain a motion now to accept the the calendar as is, or if any member of the public or the commission wants to pull an item, they can pull it at this point, and then it'll be discussed at a later time. So does anyone want to make a motion to approve the consent calendar as is?
Can I approve?
Sure. I mean, you can make that motion, yes.
Okay, or make that motion, yeah. So I make them a motion to,
Did everyone understand what I said? Because if there is an item there that you want to discuss, you need to pull it. If you read it already and everything's fine, and you want to move on with the
Right.
meeting, then
we
nothing
can
needs to be pulled
pull it,
and
yeah.
we just approve it as is. But I want to make sure that you understand that those items will not be discussed unless somebody pulls it.
right. Everybody getting that? Okay, so then we can just,
Okay, so you made a motion. Does
Thank you.
anybody second it?
I'll second.
Is that Commissioner Pizzelli?
yes,
Okay.
motion carries.
Well,
Well,
you didn't do a
oh.
vote.
What,
You want to vote on it?
Oh, yes, so sorry. So all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, now I can say
Yep,
motion,
yep,
motion carries. Okay,
So there are no excluded consent calendar items, so you can move on to public participation at this point
okay,
on non-agenda items.
okay. Uh,
So have we received
Can I-
any?
Yes.
Can I,
We have a public comment.
okay,
from-
shouldn't I read that though first?
Sure,
Don't I
go
usually
ahead,
read? This section is intended to provide members of the public with the opportunity to comment on any subject that does not appear on this agenda for action. This section is limited to 30 minutes. Each speaker will be afforded 3 minutes to address the commission. Each speaker will be permitted to speak only once. Written requests, if any, will be considered first under this section. Okay.
Well, we have one, I have Rick McQuillan. Yes, the microphone up to the front there, Rick. You'll be given 3 minutes.
Good. Hello, I'm Rick McQuillan. I live in Manhattan Beach, and I love all the South Bay. I'm very involved with Redondo and Artesia Boulevard, and I'd like to speak about your public art project for Artesia. Some NRBBA members, including myself, Sandy Allen, who's also in the audience, are just starting a process of creating a bid, which is a business improvement district for Artesia. The Riviera Village bid has done well, and we'll also have success on our unique, wonderful span of Artesia. First, there are a lot of vacancies, so we're working on a commerce strategy to find the ideal mix of businesses for our residents and visitors. We're currently favoring creative businesses, including style, personal style, home style, and lifestyle, and creative arts. Then we'll attract these businesses with focused outreach and incentives. And I can tell you, we will be promoting your project. Once we have great businesses, we'll have some social tech to set up and run events like Shop Around Artesia and pop-up days, and to guide and assist residents and visitors to have fun, useful visits to the boulevard. You can see a rough early prototype of our dynamic street map at a site called cartesia.com. It's very rough and early. Now, I've read your RFQ and it's very inspiring. I love your goal of creating a national model. Now, that may be a stretch, as you know, and I hope it can be achieved. And I believe that working together with our mutual goal of elevating the boulevard and the community, we can really boost the prospect of national recognition. I think it works like this. As the core foundational element, your works will beautify Artesia. At the same time, we get great businesses that resonate with our beauty. And finally, we integrate the businesses with residents' lifestyles, extending the creativity and joy of Artesia into their homes and lives while attracting visitors to our uniquely beautiful destination. So I'd like to leave you with one more thought. I always recall a quote attributed to Pablo Picasso. Maybe he said it, maybe he didn't. The quote is, when art critics get together, they talk about form and structure and meaning. When artists get together, they talk about where you can buy cheap turpentine. I don't know if you've heard that one before, but it inspires me because it tells me to always keep art intimate. I believe if we do that, we can create a national model for public art blended with commerce that brings joy to our community. Let's make it happen. So that's all for now. Please contact me anytime with questions and support at rick@mcqcorp.com. Thank you. And may I give each of you my card?
Yes, please.
And also, thank you. And also your project described, the RFQ described the need for a database. And we're working on a database. It's going to be a living database because we're going to use it for commerce.
Take
We may
mine.
be able to have some,
Take mine.
well, thank you. We may be able to have some overlap with that, with the database that you need. And I'd be happy to talk with whoever you get for the project on that.
Madam Chair, would it be okay to ask questions?
It's just,
Yeah, not during,
Yeah,
not during this
the-
section of the
yes.
meeting.
Okay.
If you,
Ask him just to repeat something for me?
okay,
If you wouldn't mind, please repeat the website. You said Seek.
It's cartesia.com. It's on the card I gave you. It's very early. It's going to improve greatly over this year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any other
Thank you.
comments from the audience?
Any other comments?
Any other comments?
Do I get a clock? There we
Say your name.
go.
You have 3 minutes.
Okay. Hey, my name's Arthur Dubinsky. I've grown up here my whole life. I went to Jefferson Elementary School, Paris Middle School, Redondo High. My parents went to Arle Guadalupe, which is on the border of Hermosa and Redondo, and they went to Bishop Montgomery. I've lived here for so long. Redondo is like one of the best cities ever. So I love the idea that we're going to focus towards the arts. I'm actually a fine artist, and I've actually been told to come here by Georgette, who's, I guess, is running for mayor now. And she said, come to the art commission. And I heard that you're trying to beautify the Artesia strip, which is great. You know, the last speaker had a great little montage about that. There's so much stuff. Infinite ideas. You know, I grew up in the arts, so I know all the turn of the century artists, Gustav Klimt, Alphonse Much, Gauguin, Renoir, and Chagall. And the idea that just a mural or a fine art painting is going to deliver, visitors is a little underwhelming. I think you need to build, how we kind of have the Redondo sign, which was great. Even though you built a fountain that you couldn't use because you built it under power lines. That was not the best, but the idea of an arch, I think, is a great idea. I think if you had a giant mortar, like a brick arch that had Redondo over it on, either in Artesia or any of the places in Redondo, would be something monumental. If you had something like, I have renderings of all kinds of things like that. But I think that you could do something immense I just was in Barcelona, and they have an immense arch, and literally millions of tourists come each year to see it. Just to have that, if you're trying to compete with Santa Monica and Venice, that would be something. And it wouldn't be that difficult to conceive of a construction of just a brick arch, right? So that might be something to consider. I have renderings I have my own draft of arches and everything, but just the idea of pondering it is also a great idea. So that's all I have to say about it. Thanks for listening to me. If you want to get in contact with me, it's just my full name. It's arthurdubinsky@gmail.com. And I'll be selling art in Redondo down at the Esplanade. So if you want to see me, I'm usually there on Saturday and Sunday. I actually have a street vending permit, so you can see me down there, but it's nice to meet you all.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Could you spell your name?
You want to fill out one
Yeah,
of
sure.
these forms here for
Can you
us?
spell his name?
We can get you
Can you
credit there.
spell your name, please?
Yeah.
Oh, it's the English spelling of Arthur, so it's Arthur, and then it's the Ukrainian last name, Dubinsky, and it's just @gmail.com.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I should have brought my business cards. This guy more professional than me.
Thank you.
Georgette Gander, District 2. This is what it's all about. Everything. I'm so excited. The fact that you guys hired the consultants is exciting, and they've been hired. I wish, maybe I shouldn't say as many, anyway, they should attend these meetings, because if they need to advise you, I think that it won't just be in Artesia, it's probably going to grow to other areas. So I think they need to attend the meetings and get a feel for it. And one of their representatives, I think it's a team, need to come every week. Anyway, yes, I am running for mayor. Thank you, Arthur. I met Arthur on the Esplanade, and his work is beautiful. He can draw people and floral, flowers, flora, fauna, incredible. It's so exciting that Mr. McQuillan and the North Redondo Beach Business Association is working on kind of a grassroots level If I don't make mayor, I'm going to go work with him. It's so exciting. I can't wait to see what Artesia can become and Redondo can become. There is such a thing as good development. There is good, we don't have to be dense and go crazy. There's such a thing of doing a good thing, and art should lead, and that would be that's what that would be my mantra as mayor. Anyway, good job. I'm glad to see all 7 people attend with new people. Thank you. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Georgia.
Let's slip form, please. Just sign form.
Thank you.
Sign and pass. Should have done that one time. Are there any other comments from the audience? Nope.
Anybody,
No,
nobody
no
online or
comments
anything?
online.
Okay. Now we're going to, am I going to J1 now?
Mm-hmm.
Okey doke. All right, discussion and possible action regarding the utility box art map program.
And can you project my screen now?
Sure.
Good evening, Commissioners. So the utility box design is an ongoing project, and today we're going to try to do 2 things. One is to select 5 new designs from the 20 that you've submitted from the new batch that were part of our last RFQ, and then decide if you want to determine the locations for them today, or if you want to, the recommendation that staff is making is that you form a committee that would discuss that and then come back with recommendations for you to approve or amend regarding the locations of the designs. All right, so I will go through, and then I also have, when I get to the end of the presentation, I have a suggestion for a process that you could use to make the selections. It's not something that you have to use, but it might make things a little bit easier. So first of all, I want to start with the scoring criteria. So this is the criteria that was adopted way back when the program was first begun. And the criteria is that the installed wrap will enliven the area and transform the street. The design is family-friendly and suitable for viewing by all ages. The design passes the moving car test, and that is that it's simple, bold colors, and no text. The design passes the won't overheat the utility box test, which is limited use of dark colors. The design does not defame or invade the rights of any person living or dead. And the design showcases one or more of Redondo Beach's cultural diversity, historic heritage, or popular activities. So now we'll go through the 20 designs that you submitted. I have 2 slides for each design. One is the actual design, and then the second slide is the artist statement. I'm not going to go and actually read every artist statement unless you want me to. I'm just going to, go through the designs. So this is the first design. The title is People on Beach with Seagulls. And if I'm going too fast, you can ask me to slow down. There's you all have a composite 2 pages of all of the designs, so it'll be easy for you to refer to them when we start discussing them. Number 2 is bird abstract with trees. Number 3 is carnation gardens. Number 4 is Redondo Beach Pier. Number 5 is florals. 6 is entanglement. Now, what I did here was on the bottom left side, you see what it would look like if the artist had done what we asked them to do and submitted according to the required template. So some of you submitted designs where the artist didn't follow our instructions. So I went ahead and sort of imposed the template on them. And we would have to if this one, for example, was selected, we would have to go back to the artist and just make sure that this was one that they intended to be a design for a utility box and not an example of some previous artwork. Sometimes it was clear, sometimes it wasn't clear. Whimsical wheels. Light speed. Rubies into gold. The whimsical wave. You know, another reason why it's important to see it as a template is because sometimes you want, like each of the sides, you want to make sure that each side is a image that makes sense in and of itself, because as you're walking by or as you're driving by, you're not going to see all 5 sides. So you want to make sure that each side could stand alone. Picnic, number 11. Waves, number 12. So for this one, the artist submitted all 5 individual sides, as we asked them to do, but they didn't submit the one with them all put together. So I actually did this for the artist. And, once again, you can either ignore that or you can hold it against them, or, it's up to you to decide what you want to do. But just so you know, this composite that you see, I put together.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Number 13 is clouds. 14 is Crystal Cove. 15 is blooming flower. 16 is Island Girl. And the reason I put the top all the way to the right was because I thought you would want to see most of her head. If I'd put it anywhere else, you wouldn't have got the head. So 17 is field view. 18 is floral piece. 19 is wildlife of California. And 20 is girl driving a sports car in Redondo Beach. Okay, so there are all 20 of them. And then here's my suggestion for how to proceed. And you can either use this or you can decide on something yourself. So first, we should go through them again and determine eligibility. So what I mean by that is we'll go through one by one and you'll look at your criteria. So each of you have a criteria page, right? It's kind of blue and light blue, you got that? And so someone might say, oh, this one has, text on it, so we shouldn't use it. Or this one is too dark, so we shouldn't use it. Or this, you would look at the criteria and say, because one of our criteria is such and such, this one probably should not be used. And then someone would have to second that motion and you'd have to vote on it. And then that one could be determined ineligible and you wouldn't consider it as a, final possibility. So that would be the first thing, to determine, are all 20 of them eligible based on the guidelines? Then rank the ones that are eligible. So on the 2 pages that you have, pick your first choice, your second choice, and your third choice. And then I've made a spreadsheet. I can enter all of your, 1, 2s, and 3s into the spreadsheet, and then we'll average them. And then the 5 designs with the lowest ranks will be the ones that you recommend to council. And lowest because, 1 is lower than 3, so it's going to be a low number.
Can I ask you a question?
So this is what the spreadsheet will look like if you decide, to do it this way. And then the scoring criteria. And now it's up to you to decide what you want to do. And you can address your comments to the chair at this point.
Chair, I have a question about this. Some of them have pricing on that. Do we need to be concerned with the prices in terms of our budget?
No.
Okay, thank you.
There was another one. Number 19 says Redondo Beach on it. If we really, if it ranked really high, could we ask the artist to eliminate that logo? Or do you want the logo?
Well, that, as we go through them, if you decide to use my process, that could be something that you include in your motion. Like you could say, we'll use this one only if the artist takes out the text, or you might decide, in that particular instance, the text is only 2 words, it's okay. But yes, basically you have the option to do whatever you want to do.
Would you like us to motion? Do you,
Well, I think
I think
at this
there
point, I
may
mean, is there anybody who's like opposed to using the process that I'm suggesting? Okay, then why don't we, let me pull up my spreadsheet. Oops. And Madam Chairperson, do you want me to call out the names, or would you prefer to do it?
I would like you to call them.
Okay. So is there anyone who thinks that number 1, people on beach with, and I just want to get my seagulls, that one should not be eligible? Okay. So, what about, what am I doing here? Okay. Bird abstract with trees. Anyone? Okay. Carnation Gardens. Okay. Redondo Beach Pier. Number 5, florals.
you
Gary,
have a
hold on
question?
a second.
Oh, yeah.
Just to be clear, right now, we're just making sure if they're eligible.
Yes. Is it, everyone's okay with 5?
Yes.
6.
No. No.
No.
Okay, so then,
I'm okay with 6.
okay, well, so someone can make a motion to determine that number 6 is ineligible and then state the criteria that it doesn't meet. Someone would have to second that motion, and then you would have to vote on it.
Could I make a motion to make it eligible?
No, it's eligible until, they're automatically eligible unless someone makes a motion for it not to be.
I make a motion for it not to be eligible because the artist did not follow the directions, and Gary had to create it so that we could see it in its entirety.
I just want to argue also that there are other designs on here that are going to be like that too.
Yeah.
And I might do the same.
Okay.
I feel like it might be dangerous because of the moving car. It seems like it's busy, maybe would be the only thing I would say, but.
I agree with that.
It's,
I don't think that it passes the moving car test.
I personally like it.
I do too.
yeah, I think
It's different. Gives a different perspective to Redondo Beach.
I also argue like a lot of this, I don't want to, I'll do my best to not go away about artwork, but, finger painting and watercolor stuff, like we're a growing city, and I would just suggest that sometimes taking into account that some of the painting styles that are represented here, they lend themselves to art, but as we progress towards the future, try to maintain a level of professionalism, I guess, what I would say.
I guess part of the issue I have is that if we don't start saying that some of these are ineligible, we're going to still be here discussing all 20, and we still need to whittle them down to 5.
But well, when you do the voting, it'll whittle down. I don't think you have to worry about that.
Okay. And then my other thought is, we're going to be choosing 5 for this year, and then next year we will choose more. Am I correct?
Well, you may be doing 5 more before next year. I mean, you may be doing 5 more at your next meeting.
Okay, thank you.
We have how many, like, there's boxes, I think we have like 60 or something. It's a crazy amount of boxes.
Well, you have the list of
Yeah.
boxes. I
Well,
can't remember
now,
what.
I'm not going, I'm just general, like,
Yeah.
I just want to put it
There's a
out.
good number that still haven't been wrapped.
For sure.
Can I make a suggestion? I think that since there's passion with this, I think we should move forward and accept it, move on to one that maybe we completely all.
Okay. Well, did anyone want to second the motion not to make it ineligible? Who made, well, a couple people. So why don't we say that Commissioner Gold and Commissioner Lawrence made it and seconded it. So if there's no more discussion, let's vote on it. How many, if you think that it should be ineligible, say aye.
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 If you think it's eligible, say nay.
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 Okay, I think we need to see hands probably. All right, so how many think that should it be eligible? Raise your hand if you think it should be eligible.
Eligible.
No, because you said you wanted, what?
No, I thought it was a discussion, not a
Oh,
definitive.
okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I thought it was a discussion.
All right.
So I was thinking that maybe that would be part of the conversation of that it could be busy for the moving car test, but I still think it's a beautiful piece.
Oh, okay.
So
if you feel like it's eligible, you can still put it in the running, and then later on, when everybody grades it, then it'll sort itself out then. But
Yes.
to not have it in the running is the argument here.
Okay, so if you think it should be eligible, raise your hand. 4, okay, so it passes. Okay, so the next one is
7.
7. Okay, whimsical wheels. Everyone okay with that? All right, 8. Light speed.
I have a question about this one. Not saying to make it ineligible, just wondering what your thoughts are if we think this one is too dark, or if the red lights might cause issue, especially at night with car lights on them.
Can you put that one on the screen again, please?
Looking at that, I just wonder what that would look like, especially in the evening in your rearview mirror.
If anything, my argument to this is like, it's gonna look like blurry stuff on the side of it. I don't really care for this one myself.
I feel like that's like a
My
safety
comment
concern
also is,
maybe, right?
I think it's too dark.
Yeah, or too dark. It would, and if the utility box overheats, it stops working. Is that why we don't want it
Yeah.
to overheat? So
Yes.
maybe if we're on the fence about it being dark, that might be a serious concern.
I agree.
All right, so why don't we just go right to the vote? Anyone,
Yes.
if you think this one should be eligible, raise your hand. No, Commissioner Melendez, you didn't like it, right? Oh, but we're talking about eligible. I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
Just
I'm
because I
sorry.
don't like it doesn't mean it
Right,
shouldn't
right.
be
No, my
eligible.
fault, my fault,
I
my
feel
fault.
like they should all be eligible. We're all gonna vote on it anyway. Like, this is,
But
I
this makes it
agree.
easier for us.
sure.
Well, we're halfway through it, so why don't we?
Sure.
So if you think it should be eligible, raise your hand. That's only 2. All right, so then that one's going to be out. Okay, number 9, rubies into gold.
Same idea on this one for me.
All
I
right,
think it should be ineligible. Same issues as before.
all right, let's vote on that.
Yes. Number 8.
Okay. All those who think that number 9 should be eligible, raise your hand. That's only 3. Okay, so. Okay, number 10. Any issues there? Number 11, picnic. 12, waves. 13, clouds.
I think this one should be ineligible. out of all the ones in here, this one, no offense to anybody, but that's like an iPhone picture or something. Anybody could take this. There's nothing artistic to me about
Okay,
this.
but you have to apply a criteria. Which of the criteria
Right in here.
makes it ineligible?
It doesn't pass the moving car test.
Okay. Everyone who, if you think that number 13 should be eligible, raise your hand. Eligible. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that one stays in. What are we on?
14.
14?
Now we're on 14.
Okay. Any issues there? 15, blooming flower.
This is another one for me that as far as art's concerned, it just looks like one of those acrylic things where they pour. Another doesn't pass the moving car test.
Okay. If you think number 15 should be eligible, raise your hand, please. Okay, so that one's out
Which one is that? I'm sorry?
Number 15
Is out?
is out.
because there were only 3 people who. there were
Okay,
only-
I understand, but I'm sorry I missed it. What was the criteria?
So in the little,
No, I understand. Which specific criteria did you guys voted it out for this one?
He
I'm
said
confused.
moving car
the
test.
moving car test. So this one here where it says, it's,
I apologize. Which criteria?
In design passes a moving car test,
I understand,
simple,
but
bold
what
colors, no
specific
text.
criteria?
Moving cart test.
So it has to be simple, bold colors, no text. That's the moving car test.
So
So
what,
if it's complex, then it wouldn't pass the test. If it's whatever the opposite of bold colors, you know, like
Define
complex
context.
colors, like
No,
with
look,
lots of text.
to
That's-
explain my reason why I didn't think, no, it's no different than the clouds to me. Whoever made this splattered some stuff on. It doesn't make any sense.
but, I mean, but
I understand abstract art. You know what I mean? I understand fine art. What I'm saying is this particular image on a box compared to everything else that's on here, even the clouds make more sense.
Commissioner
than that.
Melendez, we were asking at this part for you to make criteria-based judgments. When you do the voting, you'll
I
be making
did.
aesthetic-based judgments.
No, you're
Well, but I
missing
don't
the
think there's
point.
anybody who
You don't
agrees
get
with.
to argue with me. What I'm saying is that particular image, if I was driving by, would be distracting. 'Cause I'd
That's
be
not what the
staring at it.
criteria says.
It's the moving car criteria. We
No.
just voted.
Because to fail the moving car test, you'd have to say.
I know, Gary.
No, I'm going to say this. You would have
could
to
say whatever you want, but I'm telling you, I get to
Yes, you
decide.
do. Okay.
I'm on the Cultural Arts Commission.
okay,
right.
let's move
So number 15 is out.
out. Let's go on to the next one.
Number 16, my only issue with this, I'm not disagreeing that it's a beautiful piece. I think that it wasn't set up properly for us. Gary, I appreciate what you did by putting the head in the correct spot. I think it might be confusing to people seeing this utility box, because it will look like a body without a head when people drive
Exactly.
by.
I agree.
Agreed.
Can I ask something about these actually, like in regards to that? Like, are these basically direct decals or something that's going to be made? Or are we like hiring the artist to paint the box
They're
based
vinyl
off of
wraps.
this? These
They're
are,
gonna be
so
wrapped around
so like
the
this is
electrical
not,
boxes.
this is a vinyl wrap?
Yeah,
Okay, that wasn't
yeah.
clear.
They'll put the image on and then,
Yeah,
but it's a wrap.
okay.
So the head more than likely will not be on the body.
The head would be
It'll be on the top.
Right.
So it'd be very confusing to people. So I
Yeah,
would,
that's so
we could say
unfortunate.
moving car test on this one, but I think it's just a confusing piece to wrap a utility box with.
I agree.
If you think this one should be eligible, raise your hand, please. Just one. Okay, so this one's out.
It's pretty, but-
17, field view.
Don't get attached to anything.
No, no.
Okay, 18, floral piece. Okay, and now 19. And 20. Okay, so then what I would like you to do next is, except for, oh, I didn't mark some of these. So 15 and 16 are out.
Do you want us to go through the ones that,
Well, you can look at, I'll put it's on the spreadsheet right behind you.
Okay.
At all. So you can mark them off on your sheet. I'll call them out. Okay, so 8 is out, 9 is out, 15 is out, and 16 is out. So what I would like you to do now is for the remainder 16 designs, pick your first choice and put a 1 next to it. Pick your second choice and put a 2 next to it. Pick your third choice and put a 3 next to it. And then in a minute or so, I'm going to go through and enter your scores into the spreadsheet. But I don't, well, I can't do the spreadsheet.
Hard all
I know.
But here,
Oh, the 1, 2, 3, right?
you can share this. Georgette?
Did he got to do all 5?
Are we doing all 5?
No, I'm doing
Oh,
five.
I would like to do 5.
They're 10 on one and 10 on the other.
This is kind
We're
of,
having a hard time with 3. Is it possible to do 5?
Well, yeah, it's just, yeah, sure, you can.
Let's do 5.
Yes.
Okay.
So is that what you all want to do?
yes.
Pick 5? Okay.
That feels better.
Yeah.
No cheating.
No,
No copying each other's papers. Raise your hand if you're done. Okay, you need more time.
So if I put a 1 on one of these and nobody else puts anything on them, will that have the lowest score?
Yeah.
So will that work?
No, because when you divide it by 7,
Okay.
It should be the highest score, should the other way.
Let me think about that.
Why don't we go the other way?
What, make your first choice 5?
Yes.
Then it gets 5 points.
Our first choice is number 1.
Well, hold on, because he's finding a flaw in my system. All right, so, okay, so I'm sorry, are you all picking 5?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so make your first choice, give it 5 points. Your second choice, give it 4 points, etc. Sorry about that.
And this way, we don't need to give all 5, we can just give 1 5 points
Yeah.
and just stop there if we want to.
Right,
We don't have to
right.
use 5 times.
Hmm. Is anyone still working?
That one's 1 minute.
Okay. Okay. Can we start with Commissioner Tanner? Is that all right?
Sure.
So I think what would be easiest for me would be if you just said the number and then your score.
Okay, number 6-5, number 10,
Wait, hold on. Number 6, 5, okay.
number 10-4,
Okay,
number 7-3. That's it.
okay.
Yeah, 2 more.
And for those of you out there,
I just
keep an
vote
eye
for
on me,
3.
make sure I'm getting it right. Commissioner Pizzelli?
That's okay.
Okay.
You can vote, I just vote for 3.
17-5,
17-5, okay,
24, 24,
okay.
1-3,
Oh, you're giving me my exercise. Okay,
4-2, 11-1.
very good. Thank you. Commissioner O'Brien Herrera?
Number 19, 5. Number 5, 4. Number 4.
Wait, hold on a second.
Uh-huh.
Number 5, 4, okay.
Number 4, 3.
Number 4, 3,
Number 3, 2.
okay.
And number 1, 1.
Okay. Commissioner Melendez?
Number 6, 5.
Okay.
Number 7, 4.
Okay.
Number 19, 3.
Okay.
Number 10, 2.
Mhm.
And number 5, 1.
Okay, Commissioner Lawrence?
Number 1, 5.
Number 1, 5, okay.
Number 12, 4.
Number 12. And you know what, before you go on, I think that instead of doing
The average.
an average, we should just do a
The
sum,
total.
right?
Right.
Yeah, as long as everyone.
Hold on one second, Commissioner Lawrence, I'm sorry.
He only wanted to pick 3. Do we do number?
Wait, 1 second.
Number 12 and not number 10.
Oh, he has to fix the formula. Yeah, and then that,
Okay, Commissioner Lawrence, number 1, 5,
yeah,
number 10, 4.
no, number 12, 4. And then number 10 is 3.
Hold on 1 second. Number 10 is 3. Which one was 4?
12.
Okay,
Then number 4 is 2 points.
number 4 is 2?
Yep.
Okay,
And then number 20 is 1.
number 20 is 1. Okay. Commissioner Gold.
Number 14, 5.
Number 14, 5.
Number 7, 4.
Okay,
17, 3.
okay,
Number 4, 2.
okay.
And number 10, 1. Thank you.
Thank you. And our Madam Chairperson.
Number 1, 5. number 4-4, number 5-3, number 10-2, and number 7-1.
Okay, so it looks like this is 1. Oh, 14 is 1. I could sort them, but
And then you have
and then
two
we've got 2 that are 12. And then we have 1 that's 10, right? No ties? Am I missing something in here? Are those our 5?
Well, so say the numbers. We got
So it
one.
looks like we got 1, 4, 6, 7, and 10. And I'll go back through those. We can show them so that the people in the audience can see them. Does that look good to everyone?
Yes.
All right, so
Yes.
14, 13, 10, wait, no. So it's 1.
You said 1,
Yeah,
4,
1, 4, 6, 7, 10.
and 10?
1,
Okay.
4, 6, 7, 10. Okay, let me go back and just show those to
Nothing
everybody.
on the second page.
1, 4, 6,
Interesting.
7. Okay,
I did like this one. Yeah.
I got 3.
okay, so there's 1.
Oh,
There's 4.
Suck to get 1.
There's 6.
Yeah.
There's 7.
That's how the game's played.
Well played.
10.
And there's 10. All right.
10.
Thank you very much. Now, why don't you, someone should make a motion and vote on that. So
Hold
the
on a
motion-
second.
Pardon me?
Thanks for putting this together.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So someone could make a motion to recommend number 1, 4, 6, 7, and 10 to City Council.
I make a motion to recommend 1, 4, 6, 7, and 10 to City Council for approval for,
Okay.
I second.
Who was the first person to second? Okay. Gold.
all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Great. All right, then the next thing you need to do is decide if you want to decide today where these are going, specifically which boxes, or if you want to form a committee to come back and make a recommendation.
Can we wait until the city council approves them?
That's up to you. You don't have to do anything else
Because in
today.
case that they turn one or most of them down, we shouldn't really waste our time right now.
In
about-
the past, when they've taken designs to council, they've also taken a location. So, so council, they'd say, we want to put this box on this corner or this box on that corner. So you would,
I feel like 6 kind of matters what corner it goes on, like
Yeah,
that'll look cool on certain corners and like, I think it matters where they go.
I think so also.
I'd like to figure it out today. This way we can send them the whole thing and hopefully get things moving a little faster.
I
This way it
agree.
doesn't have to come back to us in 2 months and then back to them again.
okay.
I'd like to get
So,
things moving.
so I don't have anything to help you make that decision. You have your list of available boxes. It's really up to you now to go through that.
The list of boxes.
Oh, that's completed. Hold on.
So in your packet, it would be page,
23? You got it, 23 and
Um,
24.
let me see if I can pull that up.
Printed it.
Yeah, you can share.
I'd have to open,
And Gary, am I correct that we should pick 1 per district?
yes.
Yes. So we need to pick 1 per district.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then we got to figure out the district. Like which roads are where. Oh, it says.
Maybe it would be best if we just went design by design
Yeah.
and hope that by the time we get to the 5th one, that we have 1 in each district. So you want to try to do it that way?
Yes.
Okay, so then the first one would be number 1. So of the boxes that are available, where do you think it would be best to put it?
Number 1. Avenue I in Catalina.
I second.
Yeah.
What did you say? I didn't hear you.
Avenue I in
I in
Catalina.
Oh,
It's
box
in
number
that's
one.
great.
Yeah.
that's beautiful. Yeah.
And that's, is that Council District 1?
Yes, it is.
So I think we can do this informally. Is there anyone who's opposed to that? Okay. Oh, this is going to be easier than I thought.
Getting a move.
So the next one is number 4. Okay, so this is probably,
To look for District 2.
this is the pier.
The Esplanade?
They got a lot of stuff down there. If you
Oh,
want
they
to put
got
it.
it, yeah.
So Gary, if it says 2 boxes, does that mean that they're going to double it, or we have to pick another design for the second box?
That's,
Normally, we would pick a second design.
Well, Catalina and Diamond has 2 boxes.
How about Harbor and Redondo?
sure.
Yeah,
I'm good with
sounds
I'm
that.
down with that.
Okay, I like it.
Is that in District 2?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep, perfect.
Harbor and, anyone object to that?
No.
No.
Okay. 6.
190th and Anza?
For number 6,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind
Yeah,
of.
I like
I
that.
was hoping for more on Artesia, to be honest.
They got a whole
oh.
consultant for that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm down with
um,
hands-on.
What about Prospect and Burl?
That might, I think it's nicer maybe there.
Prospect and Burl?
Yeah. Because like, I was just thinking, isn't it like chain link fence type? And if this is next to a chain link fence, by 190th and Anza, right? So,
Which box did you like?
Prospect and,
Barrel?
and Barrel.
For number 6?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay,
Now,
does everyone like Prospect and Barrel for number 6?
I don't
Fine.
know.
I concur, though, that link fence is going to be kind of like a
Is that,
It
what
could, like-
district is that?
It could either look really,
good.
really good, or it
Can you
could,
Is that up?
like,
I don't
that's
even see it on
You
here.
can see behind us right now,
asking.
so you can see?
Prospect and Barrel, like,
That's a good one for right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Really? All right.
Is that 3, is that District 3?
Yes.
Okay. All right, number 7.
Number 7.
Give Artesian something. District
What
4.
about,
Um,
Artesia and Rent? Or do we not want to do Artesia because of the consultant? Is that what you were saying?
I'm just saying, there's like 100
I
boxes
think
to
we should
put. Yeah,
save this one
Artesia's
for
going to get
Artesia. I
their
think
own.
1, or number 7 should be saved for Artesia. Kind of like that there.
Artesia's
Well, then
going
we
to
could
get
do-
$1 million on it.
There's some Artesia, McKay, Artesia, and
Well, what about
yard store
before?
in the Riviera.
Why not start something
10 would
there,
be
though?
great on
I feel
Artesia,
like
though,
we
because
need to
that brings
jumpstart
in that
something.
wave
All
of
right.
Redondo
I'm
and
gonna-
welcomes
are
people
all
to
been
the
waiting
beach.
forever.
For sure, hit it.
I'm thinking save 10 for Artesia, because that brings in the wave of Redondo and welcomes people to the beach.
oh, yeah,
Okay.
oh, I like that.
All
I
right.
like that
That's-
too. So can we do number 10 then? Which
Mhm.
one, Michelle? Artesia and,
Let me go, but
well, if we
Just
do
so-
it like near Hawthorne, then that's like the edge of Redondo that they're going to be entering.
I think that's a good, I like that one.
At where?
You like that
Say again?
Yeah,
idea?
yeah, Hawthorne, the edge of Redondo, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
Yeah. The question is small or large? I say large. Large.
do we have public comment on this?
Are you guys okay with that?
What do you
Yeah,
mean
can,
large?
can we
It says
get
there's a
public
small
comment?
one
Yeah,
and a
now?
large
we
one.
probably should, I'm
I would
sorry.
like to get public comment. I think we
The-
should
the
get public comment.
design- These designs only lend themselves to the smaller boxes.
Oh, they do?
Are
Do
there
we have
public
any
comments before
comments
we
from the
finish
public?
up? Come on down. Yeah,
The rectangular ones.
can you see that?
Rectangle, and then there's like a fat.
Okay.
Okay.
So we're on number 10?
We're
But they
on
can't
number
redo it. You
10.
can always ask the artist to redo it.
We're going to do number 10 at Hawthorne and Artesia Small, which is District 4. Is that okay? I don't want to overstep on any toes. Okay. Number 10.
So we're doing.
And then that leaves number 7 for District 5.
Sounds good.
And on District
so
5,
number
Wait,
10
wait, wait,
is-
So number 10 is,
Hawthorne and Artesia,
huh?
Small. And then that means number 7, artwork number 7 needs to be in District 5.
Mhm.
The question is where?
Which one is closer to the school? Would that be Manhattan Beach Boulevard and Dow? I think this might be a fun one for the school kids to see.
Yeah, that's a cute one for the school.
Isn't there, is there one on Ringe? Because there's a school on, isn't there a school over on,
That's a
Doolittle
private
is,
school,
Michelle,
though.
Doolittle
Yeah.
is where, isn't that where you turn and if you head south, then you'll hit Lincoln?
that's right before the
Elementary.
Performing Arts Center.
Yeah.
Doolittle, yeah.
It-
Or after, however.
Is that what you're referring to?
I'm thinking of Lincoln School, yes, yeah.
But there's 2 at Doolittle, so maybe we should do Dow? I don't know.
I like Manhattan Beach Boulevard and Dow. I think might be a
I'm
nice
good with
spot.
that.
unless-
I like it too.
Anyone, okay.
Okay, so
How does everybody else feel?
I'm good.
You're okay?
If we get a thumbs up down there, we're good.
Everybody over here?
Yep.
So number 7,
Will be Manhattan Beach Boulevard and Dow for District 5.
Okay, so let me summarize. Design number 1, Avenue I in Catalina, District 1. Design number 4, Harbor in Redondo, District 2. Design number 6, Prospect and Barrel, District 3. Design number 7, Manhattan Beach Boulevard and Dow, District 5. And design number 10, Artesia and Hawthorne, the small box, District 4.
Oh, question though. That says Caltrans.
Oh, we can't do a Caltrans box.
Can't-
no, we
Okay.
can't, yep, that's right, right there.
So what
So
about,
was that number 10?
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what if we do,
Artesian Ringe guy.
What about Artesian Ringe?
That sounds good.
I thought we were going to save Artesia for the consultant.
No, because the consultant, you're still making the decisions. No.
Okay.
You need one for Artesia.
Definitely.
That sounds good.
That's
Perfect.
Something
across, yeah.
So Artesia and Ringe?
And
Yes.
Artesian Ringe.
Okay.
For which number? Remind-
10.
Perfect.
That works for me.
Yeah.
Since the other one's
Okay.
Caltrans.
That's 4. So then, Commissioner, Madam Chairperson, do you want to amend your motion, or let's just make a new motion to accept that package and make those recommendations
Okay.
together?
Where was number 5 again?
I can read them, and you
Okay,
can just
okay,
turn
okay.
that into a
So
motion.
what would you like me to do again?
So the motion, does somebody want to make a motion to recommend to City Council that
Oh.
design number 1 will go on Avenue I and Catalina, design number 4 will go on Harbor and Redondo, design number 6 will go on Prospect and Barrel, design number 7 will go on Manhattan Beach Boulevard and Dow, and design number 10 will go on Artesia and Ringe. Would anyone like to make that motion?
I will.
Who?
Okay,
Yep. So I'd like to make a motion to city council that,
What I just said.
what you just
yeah.
said.
Okay.
That,
And who wants to second that?
I'll second.
Commissioner Lawrence? Oh, Gold?
Gold.
And then Chairperson, Madam Chair, you can take a
Motion
vote now.
carries.
No, you can take a vote now.
Oh, that's right, I have to take a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, now I can finish. Okay. Okay.
Very good, thank you.
Thank you. Well done.
Yay.
And Gary, thank you for putting it all together so nicely. I second
You're welcome.
what you offered him.
Okay, you may continue with the agenda.
Okay, so now we're going to J2.
Yes.
Discussion and possible action on the creation of an ADHOC committee to make recommendations to the full commission regarding an LGBTQ public art project.
Okay, so I don't have any formal presentation for this, other than what was in the administrative report that's in your packet. The chairperson will probably have a lot more to say about it, but basically, the recommendation is to form a committee to bring back a recommendation to all of you.
And basically, what a HOC committee, it's like a subcommittee. That's really what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because sometimes that might sound confusing to some people, but I know it
Well,
as
ad hoc means that it's created for a temporary purpose, all right, as opposed to a standing committee, which would which would report every meeting. So
Okay.
once an ad hoc meeting, once an ad hoc committee accomplishes its goal, then it's dissolved. There's no reason for it to exist anymore. So the ad hoc committee would be, to make recommendations regarding an LGBTQ permanent public art installation.
And I know that there were some people interested in,
And maybe give them some background, Chairperson, because they're new commissioners who don't know the work that's already been done.
yeah, so the past commissioners, Ashish Sharma and I, and Gary, we attended the LGBTQIA over at, it's on
In Torrance.
in Torrance, and discussed with, having a
Sarah, the
Sarah
executive director.
Lanen, the director, and discussed about possibilities throughout Redondo for artwork. And we went out to look at several different possibilities. Amongst that was from the boardwalk to City Hall, to the library, to, a few places on Artesia, and went over possibilities of the media, of the art, which could be sculpture, it could be mural, it could be, anyway, that's what we did. And so,
So the city council, this started when city council directed the commission, the Public Art Commission, to come up with an idea for a permanent LGBTQ public art installation at Civic Center. The last time this commission discussed it, which I think was October or maybe the meeting before, the majority of the commissioners felt that Civic Center was not the right place. They wanted it someplace that was more visible. Then we lost the other committee members. So the most important thing to happen today, you don't have to decide where it's going to go today or what it's going to be, but the most important thing is to pick members, who are going to bring back.
to gather a committee again.
Yeah.
And I know there were some people that had interest and have discussed on our last meeting, so feel free to volunteer. I know, Tanner, you raised some questions the last time, so feel free to come and volunteer if anybody wants to do it, because it's important for us all to engage, I feel like. So it can only be maximum of 3.
Correct.
Also, so.
First of all, I'd be honored to be on the committee. I think this is something really important. And I feel like this really needs to get going. This has been a long time coming, right? This has been allocated for quite a long time that we have something. So I'm really curious to see where you guys are. It seems like there's a few things that maybe even fell through on the Esplanade project and all those, maybe there's some spots that we can get this going a lot faster than we think, but we're Redondo Beach. I mean, we have to have something, and we're the arts. The two things could not go, any more hand in hand than those two. So I think this is really important for us to get going.
Okay.
So I would be honored to be on that committee.
All right. Now, should we get a third?
Well, who's the first?
Well, I'm still on it.
Well, you didn't,
Yeah,
it's a new committee. It's a new committee.
Did you want me to throw in the towel? I mean,
So the chairperson is nominating herself. Commissioner O'Brien Herrera is nominating herself. Does anybody else want to nominate himself or herself?
Tanner, would you like, no?
I would love to, but I was thinking about actually suggesting another ad hoc committee in the upcoming agenda items, and I would like to serve on that. So serving on both would be a little bit too much. Just for the benefit of, my fellow commissioners, the only thing I had suggested in the past about this issue, and I completely agree with you, it's been such a long time, so I'm glad that we are taking this initiative, and whoever is going to be on this committee, we need to act very, very fast.
Yes.
I've been hearing this on the council meetings for the past almost 2 years now. The second thing is with regards to Gary's earlier mention about the city hall or the civic center, it needs to be a little bit more visible place. And I mentioned what our friends at Manhattan Beach did. They just put the sidewalk right in front of the pier, pretty much like
That's what I
that.
mentioned the last time when we were talking.
Okay,
That was
that's great.
also a discussion, and it's
Right.
on YouTube. So you can see
Okay.
that we discussed about that,
Okay,
about
thank you.
that Manhattan Beach did that. And I
Okay.
did make a
I'll be on the
recommendation.
committee.
What's the other ad hoc item coming up?
I was gonna make a suggestion in the, later on, one of the agenda items.
Later? Oh, okay.
I'll nominate myself to be on the committee.
Okay, so the chair, Orion, and Gold. Okay, so we have, so does somebody want to make a motion to appoint the chairperson, Commissioner O'Brien Herrera, and Commissioner Gold to the ad hoc LGBTQ Permanent Public Art Installation Ad hoc Committee?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, anyone want to second that?
Second.
Who was that? Commissioner Pizzelli, okay. And then do you want to ask for a vote, chairperson?
Yes, all in favor?
Or any
Aye.
public comments?
Oh,
I'm sorry.
sorry. Yes, any public comments?
Joan Irvine, District 1. First of all, love what you picked for Avenue I in Catalina, since I found to keep the Esplanade beautiful. You know, it's a very important part of District 1. And also, I really want to thank you for moving this. Oh, and I'm also running for mayor, just to let you know. But I also think it's so important, especially with some of the things that are going on in our country, that I think it's important that Redondo have the diversity, and that this would represent diversity and to represent, you know, a very, very important part of our community and the people, you know. And my brother was gay, who's no longer with us, but, you know, so I just think it's really important to recognize this, and it just shows us as a community that invites diversity and welcomes all. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any online comments or, no?
No online
Thank you so
comments,
much. Okay,
I think you're ready for a vote then.
all right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. All right, now we're going.
So the next item, the bylaws, we've been asked to pull that item and refer it to the city attorney before it comes to you.
Okay.
Was that the one where you wanted
Yes.
to?
Can I still make a comment?
Yeah.
Okay. My comment, I mean, I read the draft that you submitted, and I understand that it's probably more of a legal document rather than a philosophical document. But what I was going to suggest is that we form a committee. I don't think we call them subcommittees. It's an ad hoc committee. So commission and committee to basically come up with the vision of our newly formed commission. Because I don't think this is just a name change per se. I think the council basically gave us the mandate to transform the Public Arts Commission into a Cultural Arts Commission. I mean, the only difference that I see in this particular draft is make recommendations to the city council related to performing arts events and programs, including but not limited to theater, music, film, fine art, literature, and poetry. Which is fine, so it really enlarges our scope big time. And not only that, I think we need to come up with a vision for the cultural life and artistic life in Redondo Beach. And from the people's perspective, from the residents' perspective, citizens' perspective, or maybe even from the perspectives of the businesses, rather than, that hasn't been written anywhere yet. So what I was going to suggest is, and we can, you know, do it now or do it some.
I think that would be a perfect thing to do under commission member items and future commission agenda topics. So you want to put a topic on a future agenda to create an ad hoc committee to come up with a vision for the Cultural Arts Commission. Did I understand that correctly?
Partly you understood it correctly, because the next meeting is going to be 2 months from now.
Well, it
So
wasn't
if
on the
it-
agenda, so we can't do it today.
I'm sorry?
Because it wasn't on the agenda, we can't do it today.
Well, it was on the agenda, but somebody just pulled it. Right?
Right, but look how many times the utility boxes were pulled and they were
I
on the agenda.
understand, okay.
We can,
So in that case, but that's exactly what I would like to suggest, maybe in the next meeting, that's 2 months from now, after the elections. And we basically, and then this committee brings a draft, maybe a lengthy draft to this commission, we discuss it, and then we present it to the council and we tell them that this is what we think that we should be all about.
can't we make a motion to just, we can make a motion to put Commissioner Tanner and myself on this ad hoc committee?
Well, you have to.
No, I
ask
know,
for
but what
that.
I'm saying, there's a way. The idea, most of the time when I'm here, the reason why I joined the commission is to fix, right? Like we want things to go faster. So I guess I'm asking Gary, how can we're asking your expertise, how can we speed this up by making motions here? Like, is there a way for us to make a motion where me and Commissioner Tanner put ourselves on this ad hoc committee to speed things up? Is there a process that we can use tonight?
You can't create a committee today because it wasn't on the agenda. I think the best thing you could do would be for a non-quorum number of you can always meet whenever you want. So 3 people can meet without, having it be approved or, right? I mean, not official committee. And at the next commission meeting, because you've asked for it to be on the agenda, it will be on the agenda. And you could submit either as a blue
Draft.
folder item or as part of the administrative report,
A draft.
a draft of something that you've worked on as an individual or as 2 commissioners.
Okay.
That would be fine. I mean, you can always submit written documents to receive and file, right? You can always do that.
Okay, so we can, that's what my question is. So we can
Yeah, but it
make a
doesn't
motion to
require any
receive and file.
action.
No,
Yeah.
but we do have to have that on agenda though. Like we could say,
Yeah.
To make a motion to receive and file a draft of the bylaws.
Well, it would.
For
be-
council, the council's got to decide on
Yeah,
everything
but
anyway.
I think the bylaws and what you're talking about are 2 different things, right? Commissioner
Can I-
Tanner?
can I make a
You're
suggestion?
kind of talking about a mission statement
Yeah,
and
exactly.
vision.
I mean, in this 9-page document, except for the first paragraph, everything is highly technical.
Yeah.
And has nothing to do with the.
Well, bylaws don't usually
Right,
talk about.
specifically. So would it be possible for you, just like the way, for example, sometimes you reach out to each commission members and ask for something like the utility boxes, for you to ask, at least between now and our next meeting, our thoughts about what the object, because the object is used as the term in this article, or the vision, or the scope, what we all individually think of this newly formed commission should be, could be, suggestions, and then you come back and report to us in the next meeting, so at least we, gain some time, what each individual, or, without me mentioning names, collectively think about what the scope should be. Because I think this is a very unique opportunity, to be honest with you, for Redondo Beach, who, in my humble opinion, is far behind in terms of cultural life, even though we have one of the most beautiful, performance halls. But in terms of, visual arts and everything like that, I don't know how many galleries we have in this town. I don't think we even have a museum. We don't have an art museum. For cities compared to our, wealth and size, this city can do a lot of things, and I think it would be this commission who can initiate most
So you
of
can
these.
put that in your statement.
What's that?
I said you can put that in your statement,
Okay, I'll shut up.
No,
I'm just saying, that's something that would be, for the goals of what you want to see the cultural arts achieve, right? That's a big
Right.
part of it too. So of
Right.
course, yeah. So basically, I think we're trying to figure out how to move forward with this.
Well, I think that's fine. I mean, Commissioner Tanner is requesting that any commissioner who wants to should submit their idea. Don't let me put words in your mouth, but
No, please.
should submit their ideas for the mission and the vision of the newly created Cultural Arts Commission to staff, and that those will be compiled and will be part of an administrative report that will come back to you in March. But I think it'll be separate from the bylaws. I think that'll be a separate document that you create, your mission and vision statement for the,
Right, and from that document, we can probably deduct the Article 2 of the bylaws. So it will become a permanent record for future commissions.
I think that's fine.
I would also like some clarity, because I know we talked about, in order to spend money from the Parsons Act, it needs to be a permanent structure, which, let's be honest, a lot of things within our realm no longer fall into a permanent structure if we're talking about theater or music.
Right.
So I would just like a little clarity on how we can go about doing those things.
We'd
Okay, so
record them.
in terms of the John Parsons Public Art Fund, that money can only be spent on permanent public art installations. Even if you had a piece of permanent theater,
Right.
you know, you couldn't use the John Parsons Public Art Fund on it. When you come up with your vision and your plan, so let's say part of your plan is that the city should have a city-run art gallery. You know, like we have a city-run theater, we should have a city-run art gallery, we should have a city-run youth orchestra, we should have a city-run dance program, whatever. Then you're going to have to take that to city council and say, do the research and how much is it going to cost, and say, we want you to allocate $250,000 a year so that we can do whatever it is. What facility are you going to use? How much staff is it going to require? What's it going to cost? That's what this is all uncharted territory. So it's going to city council and saying, we want to build the arts and culture program in Redondo Beach. And in order to do that, we've come up with a prioritized list, just like you did with the public art program, you know, the locations where you wanted public art to go first. These are the next three things that we want to do, whether it's dance, a dark gallery, whatever, you know, and this is what we think it's going to cost. Allocate the money.
Is there a way, Gary, I would love to find out from the residents of Redondo Beach, what are their priorities? Because we are lacking in a lot of ways when it comes to cultural arts. Where should we focus that? I'd love to, is there a way we can get a survey or anything out there for people to even know if it's an art gallery that they want, or if they want, you know, more music? Is there a way that we can do that?
That would be part of your recommendation too. I mean, that
Okay.
costs money as well. But yeah.
Right,
So when they were a couple years ago, right before I got here, the old library, right? It was during COVID, I guess it got closed down and the operator's lease expired. So there was an opportunity to bring in a new operator. And there were some people on city council, including, you know, the former mayor, who felt that it was important that that building be used much more for arts and culture than it had been in the past. And in fact, both the Historical Commission and the Public Art Commission talked about converting it to an art center. Now I lost my train of thought.
If I could jump in here.
Sure.
The ideas that Commissioner Tanner was talking about, this is in line with what you were saying too, is that there's a unique opportunity here to put our input into the drafting of this document before they just sign off on cutting and pasting what they did last time. In the interest of speed and whatever, I think there are ways to come up with everyone's vision of what they think, you know, art should be here without dialing in the details of something like that, where we could later on, do a survey for that type of thing, but I do think that there is an opportunity to put our 2 cents in the drafting of that document.
Okay, just a small anecdote. I was the one who came in front of the council and both also in front of this particular, or the Public Art Commission, arguing that the old library should be turned into a Redondo Beach Art Museum. And the Public Art Commission basically told me that their mission was just public art and, you know, just managing the funds, so they didn't really want to get involved in that. So I think that's the exact type of change that we need to initiate.
Times have changed. Very good.
Actually, a lot of people felt that they wanted to use that as a museum, art museum.
So to read.
Oh, it was survey, excuse me, 1 second, right. So, once they knew that they had the opportunity to convert it into something different, they did do a survey, all right? They did, so the city does do surveys. It would just be a matter of whether it's the Community Services Department coming up with the funds, or it can be done once you officially, make the recommendation or request that some kind of survey be done to find out what the citizens of Redondo Beach would like to see in terms of expanded arts and culture programming and services.
Thank you.
Survey.
And that's part of reaching out, right? We all reach out to the community, that's
Right,
part of
like,
it.
I think part of that whole discussion too, if we were to like, that, it would be about outreach as well, like getting into the community, finding the musicians and the artists and where are they now and how can we like be of service to them. I think that that's something that we could do with that, and maybe like part of it is having a space for that. And I love the idea of us maybe between now and the next meeting, everyone kind of writing down their ideas of what they think that might be, and then how we could do that. Is that something that I think we're all on board with, it feels like, right? So, and I think that that kind of thing would take time outside of just here, because we only meet every 2 months. And so I guess we just want to make sure going through the proper channels to do that and to meet and to make something happen, since we're all here for that purpose.
What would also be very useful for us, if you could collect, if it's easy, like the mission statements of similar cities, especially in, Southern California, for their cultural arts commissions. For example, I would be very interested in seeing what the mission of the Laguna Beach Art Commission is all about, things like that. And if you could distribute that to us, that would be incredibly helpful.
Couldn't you just look that up on their website? Like you could.
I can,
could-
yes,
yeah, you
I
could.
can, thank you.
They'll have it on there. Okay.
Question, so was there any resolution to what the old library should be used for? Did they come up with these?
Yeah.
Event space.
Well, it's going to another caterer, and actually, I think the agreement is going to council very soon, like either next month or and the new caterer is supposed to do more arts and culture programming or provide something than the previous one did, but it's not what the arts and culture advocates were really hoping for, but hopefully it'll be a little better than what it was.
Okay. That makes me sad.
Yeah, what a place that would have been, yeah. That was the first thing I tried to do when I got here.
Oh, money.
Okay.
Okay, so then the last item, you want to move on to number 4?
Okay, we're going to, excuse me?
I think we're ready to move on to item number 4, J4.
We don't have
There's no J4.
J3?
There's no J4.
J4 is commission member items and future commission agenda
That's
topics.
K.
No, you mean K.
Oh, on the paper, there's a 4, but on our screen, there's only a 3.
Okay.
Oh, maybe they removed it without telling me. So
Yeah,
is
because
bylaws
that's
there?
what I was trying to tell you earlier.
Is bylaws there?
No, 4 said, 3 is about bylaws for the Cultural Arts Commission, and then 4 on here is commission member items and future commission
Yeah.
agenda topics.
No, that's what I said earlier,
It's
that
just
that was
mislabeled.
removed.
No, bylaws was removed.
That was
Yeah.
number 3.
3.
Just talked about bylaws.
So there's still a 4.
On
on here.
ours that we see, there's not, we have J3 is the first draft of bylaws, and then it goes right to K, which is commission member items.
They left out commissioner member items in future.
They have that
Printed
listed as
agenda
item
is-
K,
That's K.
What do you
Yeah.
have
And
as
then
K?
what's adjournment?
L.
L,
Oh, okay, sorry.
okay. So commissioner members' items and future commission agenda topics. Correct?
Yes, yes.
The topic would be outreach. Like, how are we going to find more artists? How are we going to find the artists in our community? How are we going to know who they are? And I think that we have to figure that out. And I think that's like, you know, if they're not coming in here, where are they?
Can we put
Did
on
you
the
want to,
agenda-
Chairperson, did you want to go one by one like you
Yeah, let's
usually
go
do?
one, yeah, let's go one by one. We can
And, I
start
mean,
with goals.
you don't have to have something, but if you do, this
Yeah,
is
you
when you
can-
offer. Yeah.
Do you have anything to add?
No.
No?
No.
I would like to put something on there about the LGBTQ art projects that we're going to have moving forward. I would like for us to be able to present something in 2 months.
That would,
Not under the
yeah, that's,
consultant?
Would that be?
pardon me?
Go ahead.
Yeah, that would go under continuing items or,
Okay.
that'll,
Yeah.
that'll be on,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Mine might just be continuing items as well. So isn't this the section when you mentioned earlier that if there's going to be an ad hoc group coming together for a vision for the public, or for the Cultural Arts Commission?
Right, but
Does that go-
you sort of talked about it already. But yeah,
that
if
go-
there's more you want to say, go ahead.
No, I'm just wondering if that request goes in that section?
Yes.
Or,
Yeah.
okay.
So, yeah. So there will be something on the agenda next time about,
Cultural arts, creating a vision, object.
well, forming the committee formally,
Yeah.
and then any work that you've already done will be included as part of the administrative report. Right? If you send anything to us, we'll include that.
That's good.
That's good, right?
Yeah, because then it's up to everybody to do their own homework.
I have something, if I may.
Yeah.
This is, personal note under commission member items. I strongly recommend to see the Fred Tomaselli exhibit at the Laguna Art Museum. It's only an hour drive. It's a fantastic, fantastic exhibition. One of the best I've seen in the South Bay so far. And I think it will also give, to those of you and everybody else also in the audience, how a local art museum can attract very famous artists. I think it goes until mid-February. You can look it up. The second thing that I would like to mention is elections are coming up. We have some candidates here tonight with us, but there are a bunch of other candidates for districts. I cannot say urge you, but I would recommend that all of us to go to those meetings and ask the candidates what they think about arts and cultural life in Redondo Beach. I mean, you don't have to come back and share with us, but I think it would be, every time I go to a meeting like that or a debate, I typically ask questions about what they think about, culture, arts and things like that. Just wanted to remind everybody, because I think we are not going to be meeting until after the election, correct?
March.
Correct.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
So that's it.
And you do have a third point, and that's you want to stress to the city clerk how important it is that you have minutes.
Do what?
That you have
minutes of
minutes.
meetings.
The minutes of the meetings.
This is where you would talk about that.
It would be nice to have minutes of the meeting so we can approve them and so everything becomes official. I mean, again, as an art commission, we should be the least bureaucratic commission among all the city things, creative. But then, if you want to make things official, we should really have minutes and approve, get them approved. Thank you.
I'd like to say about the Pier Skate Park, right? So it's our mural that's going to be going Wednesday. They're going to have Wednesday, January 29th, a ribbon cutting ceremony at 1 p.m. at the International Boardwalks Skate Park. Skate Waves by Andy Jenkins. And we'd like to see everybody out there to celebrate our mural. I know that I don't know if anybody saw, Beach Reporter also had an article about it, so it'd be nice to see everybody out there.
I'd like to say something about this too. Like, I don't know, whoever's watching or you out in the crowd, this is a big deal for us.
Yeah.
There hasn't been much movement on the art commission since I got here, and I've been here for about 3 years. One, somebody else's term, and then another 2 year. It's significant, this skate park. Like, when we're talking about things moving in the city and stuff like that, I would like to think that the people that are sitting up here have a direct, already, just tonight, have already had a direct effect on the city, and this is something that proves it.
Yeah. And Georgette, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the city's first painted mural commissioned with funds from the John Parsons Art Fund. The only other mural, I think, is the mosaic, the police mosaic. Right, this would be the
this one's
city's
first painted, yeah.
painted, the city's first commissioned painted mural. Yeah, sure, ask the chair if she.
Yes.
The League of Women Voters has decided to have a meeting with for the election, and that's going to be at the library, February 13th at, I think it's 5 to 7. So if you want to discuss that with all the candidates, then please come.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that again?
It's February 13th between 5 and 7.
And
Trying to
all
think they-
candidates will be there?
Yes, well, I think so.
Okay,
I mean, everyone, of course, is invited, all the candidates.
great. Thank you.
Thank you. Can I ask a question, please? Sorry. Georgia made a really valid point that when we have our meetings, the consultants should be here. How can we make that happen?
Well, so the consultant hasn't been hired yet. And they know that so the contract is still being negotiated.
Okay.
And part of the contract is they know that we want them at every commission meeting. You meet every other month, that's not a big deal. So they're totally on board with that. They're not here today because they're not under contract yet, but they want to meet with the North Redondo Chamber Business Association. I mean, we're giving them a whole list of people that they have to meet with, and they definitely are on board with all of that community engagement there. But
As they should, because that's super vital for
Yes,
the
absolutely.
businesses
And-
around there. I mean,
And
it's
one of the
hand in
reasons
hand.
we picked the ones that we did, and it was one of the ones that you recommended, is that that's something that's very important to them. So that's the only reason why they're not here today.
Thank you.
Can we request like a meet and greet with that consultant at our next meeting where maybe they come up and say something?
If they're under contract, they'll be here.
Yeah, can we have them like come up and tell them
Sure.
about
Yeah.
themselves, and can we have that on the agenda?
Do we anticipate when that will happen, when they will be under contract?
It could, the ball's in their court right now. So they got back to me, I got back to them. I have scheduled it. No. It's currently scheduled to go to council like on March 17th. Oh, that's before your meeting. You're the last. It's possible.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, that's great.
Is March 17th a Tuesday?
I think it's a Monday.
Then maybe it's March 18th.
St. Patrick's Day.
It's
I know that
currently
much.
scheduled to go to city council on March 18th.
Okay.
If it exists,
That's
right?
a
I mean,
date then.
yeah, so that's the date that I've like blocked out for it to go, because February is filled with stuff and it just takes a long time for for things to happen,
Yeah.
so hopefully, yes,
Okay.
hopefully, yes.
Great, so hopefully we'll have something in March and we can maybe get things going there.
Mhm.
Oh, won't that be a good 2025? I like it.
Does anybody else have anything to
Thank you, Carrie.
add? No, we good? So now we can go to adjournment. The next meeting,
Hold on.
okay,
Did you want to say something? Yeah, I figured that somebody. He's gonna,
you have to come to the podium, sir.
I feel like.
sorry.
It's all right, no.
Get the number up here.
Usually we do have like.
So, I feel like there was a lot of questions about like where all the arts are and all that stuff, and I'm very aware of that dying. I lived through the death of it, so I'm very aware of where it went. It went to like North Carolina, Nevada, Idaho. It's an expensive city to live in. And the way to get it back is not by charging people like $500 to do an art fair and like all these things. It's almost like, why wouldn't the council make all that stuff free and not worry about like random other things that aren't important? But that's beside the point. I think for the beautification of the city, like, if you want tourism, the simple things that could be done, like on the Esplanade, right now, we just have like just tan gray bricks, like the entirety of it on the Esplanade itself, which is like the most beautiful view pretty much anywhere on the planet. And if you just put like Spanish mosaic tiles, get a mason, do that. It wouldn't be that expensive. Probably cheaper than the bike lane cost. That would be a simple thing to do. There's tons of other things you could do that would just simply make the city more beautiful, just easily. But if you're looking for art talent, you're talking about art museums, right? They're in the old Redondo Beach Library in North Redondo. That would be easy, although, you have to go through the regular city the council, and that's a nightmare. So that might be a little bit more daunting than just having a space that you just have, but like the skate park. If you just like shut down the skate park and just have like arts in it, like that might be more easily doable because skaters, they won't mind. So like, obviously when you open up the mural or whatever, you can have just an art fair in the skate park. That might be something easily doable. And it's the space is like literally in the center of where everyone walks. So that would be an easy thing to accomplish. And, you could just go through block by block, the entire city could be just improved just by simple things, and obviously you guys are trying to do something and it's very difficult because you have to go through all the measures of the city and the approvals and the council and what you can do from here. There's tons of people that are great artists, obviously, and I think that getting them to come to the meetings or finding out who they are is very difficult unless you implement this idea where you just say, hey, if you do arts, come here, don't pay anything, show me what you got, and then you guys show up and you could see like these people just have amazing talent. And, you could just handpick people from there, right? Like, that'd be easy. So that might be an easy strategy as opposed to doing a survey of people that don't care about art through the city, then they're gonna get a caterer, so anyways, that's all I just thought about that.
Thank
so.
you.
Yeah, no
Thank
problem.
you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Madam Chair, I have one more comment.
Yes.
So on the second Wednesday in February, what's that date?
That is
Second Wednesday,
Wednesday,
The 11th.
12th.
well,
The 12th, that's when the Public Amenities Commission will be meeting next. And one of the items on their agenda will be the city's birthday party, which will be
Yes.
sometime in April. And one of the recommendations that we might be making, or that you could make it during public comment would be an art festival in Dominguez Park. So very much along the lines of what this.
Familiar where that's at on Flagler?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or,
So if anyone, wants to see Dominguez Park become more art-centric, it might be a good idea for you to show up at that meeting and make some comments about how the city's birthday party could be infused with more arts and culture.
So is that meeting here? or-
Yes,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
And when you go to your council district meetings, be sure to thank the commissioners for the mural that we finished.
Yes,
I think not commissioners, council members.
council members,
And the mayor, yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
All right. The next meeting of the Redondo Beach Cultural Arts Commission will be a regular meeting to be held at 7 p.m. on March 26, 2025, in the Redondo Beach Council Chambers at 415 Diamond Street, Redondo Beach, California. Is there a motion to, right?
I make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Okay.
I second it.
All right. Motion carries. We're adjourned.